Mike Elias revealed the shocking truth about the Baltimore Orioles on this MLB trade deadline. Find out what he said in this episode of Orioles Digest. Welcome back to an episode of Orioles Digest. I'm your host, Kam Brice. And yes, we have a ton to talk about today. I'm going to give you guys the update on everything that's happened the past 2 days. The craziest 48 hours I've ever seen in my life. I'm pretty sure you guys too. The best MLB trade deadline of all time. Literally, all moves were happening. I felt like every time I put my phone down, I got a text or I got a DM about the Orioles. They're seeking out another information. So I'm trying to get together and get all this together while working at another team in another department. So it was all confusing, but welcome to this episode of Orioles Digest. I'm your host, Kam Brice. We have a ton to talk about. Without further ado, let me stop yapping. Let's get into our first topic of the day. Yes. Well, first, we're going to talk about the Baltimore Orioles and the move they did with the San Diego Padres last night. We all heard over the past couple of days that Ryan O'Hearn, Cedric Mullins, Ramon Laureano, Charlie Morton, all those guys were on the move. We even heard Ryan Mountcastle's name move, but obviously he's still in the rehab, and obviously the Orioles wanted to keep him. So that's another day. But now, when the Padres move came out, it took a while for all the details to come out because it was confusing. You just traded Cedric Mullins to the Mets. So I didn't know if the Orioles wanted to keep either O'Hearn or Loreno. Mostly, I thought they wanted to keep at least one of these guys to go into our next season and give at least the guys with an option. Cedric Mullins didn't have an option, so it was either O'Hearn or Ryan. So and Loreno. So now the details started to come out, and I'm like, wow, Boston Bateman, this was a massive pickup. Massive pickup. The number 4 prospect in the San Diego Padres organization. Left-handed flamethrower. That's what the Baltimore Orioles need. He's sitting at 6'8", about 220 pounds. Ooh, he's a monster. That's a guy that the Baltimore Orioles need. Bullpen, reliever, closer, starting pitcher, they'll figure it out. Before I get deeper into all this, I'm gonna tell you guys before I talk about all the deadline moves. The Baltimore Orioles have 15 top 30 prospects, and they're all pitchers. They're all pitchers. Remember 2 years ago, the Baltimore's only had about 5 to 7 pitchers in their organization. They have over 15 pitchers in their organization. But we're going to talk more about what Mike Elias thinks. Then they have Tyson Neighbors. That's number 12 prospect. Kobe Hightower is a shortstop. He could be moved. Number 6 prospect, you get Victor Fiago, who's a good player, outfield and first base prospect. When do you ever see an outfield and first base prospect? Those are very rare. They can play every corner and middle outfield position. And you got Brandon Butterworth, who plays shortstop, second base, and outfield. And then Tanner Smith, who's those last two are not ranked. But we're going to get into the details of the full trade deadline recap. I just wanted to talk about this move. What would you guys rate this move? Stop the video right now. Tell me, guys, what would you give Mike Elias a grade on this move? I honestly would give him an A minus. I feel like you got a lot of prospects, you got a lot of guys, you got a lot of the pitching, and that's what the Baltimore need. They need to find a development of pitching, and I think you did a good job of getting these guys. I didn't expect you could trade 2 guys to the Padres and get 6 players but hey, Mike Elias was cooking, and now it's time to see what he's going to do with all these prospects. Okay, so trade deadline recap. If you guys don't see it, it's right here. Okay, so out center fielder Cedric Mullins, Ryan O'Hearn, Ramon Laureano, Ramon Urias, Charlie Morton, Andrew Kittredge, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Gregory Soto, and Brian Baker. Those are the Baltimore players that was out. So the Baltimore sent about 9 players on their active roster, mostly all veterans. Now, the guys that they brought in, it's going to take a while. Left-handed pitcher Boston Bateman, San Diego Padres number 4 prospect. Infielder Kobe Hightower, Padres number 6 prospect. Juan Watts Brown, Toronto's number 10 prospect. Tyson Neighbors, San Diego number 12 prospect. Anthony Nunez, Mets number 14th prospect. Willington Arcia, that's the name I really like. Right-handed pitcher. Mind you, these last four names I just said are all right-handed pitchers that can throw flame sitting around 99, 100 miles per hour. Willington Arcia, Mets 19th prospect. Shortstop Wafele de la Cruz, Cubs 19th prospect. And then you have Romeo Gomez, Mets 30th, and do you have the 37th pick in the 2025 MLB draft and additional minor league players. So I feel like Mike Elias was cooking. He was doing a lot he wanted to do. But now that you traded all these players, what position does this put you in to call up Dylan Beavers and Samuel Basallo? I have some information on that. Okay. Mike Elias said to Mass and Rocha earlier today. He hopes Samuel Basallo and Dylan Beavers make their debuts this season. We're going to take a deep dive into that. First, we're going to talk about Mike Elias' final thoughts. Mike Elias' final thoughts. We don't want to be selling this year. A lot has gone wrong to put us in this place. But once we're here, let's make the most of it. Let's get the most talent back. He acknowledged returning players are in lower reaches of minors, but you can use players to trade. Elias said the front office will take a look in the mirror about how Baltimore got here to be a seller. Ultimately, he said, the Orioles tried to make the best of a disappointing situation for us. That was Mike Elias' final thoughts. This is what we've been waiting for. Elias had this to say on now, this is what we've been waiting for. Mike Elias had this to say on Samuel Basallo and Dylan Beavers. They've come a long way, and they're almost there. There are some things we're still looking for and hoping that they'll do. But I do think them getting a taste in 2025 would be a good thing for all parties. Where do we sit at on that, guys? Do we think Mike Elias is really trying? Or do we think he's trying to sabotage his organization once again? Now, I feel like you have no choice. Baltimore's have 35 people in their 40-man roster right now. September call up. You'll have to call at least one of them up. Basallo and Dylan Beaver should both get the opportunity. And when they come, they should get everyday opportunities to figure it out instead of being in a lineup and not hoping to be in a lineup and just sitting and watching. They can sit and watch a little next year too. It's not a 1-year plan. It's not a, if they don't come up and make an immediate impact, oh, let's struggle, let's trade them. No, they'll have next year to develop. And then after next year will be the year that we finally see them take off. But another sad situation I didn't want to get into is Grayson Rodriguez. Mike Elias said the Orioles are still finalizing Grayson Rodriguez's medical plan. Remember, Grayson Rodriguez went down spring training and tried to come back, and then they sent him back down because it just wasn't finding. And his arm has been the same over the past couple of years, and the Orioles medical staff have yet to figure out what happened. But they said elbow surgery is on the table. It'll be about removing a bone, not a full reconstruction. In the next few days, it will put him out for the rest of this season, but he'll return in spring of 2026, hopefully. Now, Grayson Rodriguez will return in 2026 this spring, hopefully. You know what? This is all on the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles treated this situation right. If they, from the day, put Grayson Rodriguez down in spring training or this offseason, decided he need a surgery that will take a year to recover, do it. But every single time they wait, they hopeful no surgery, let's do no surgery. If the surgery is an option, you always get it. And this is on the organization and Mike Elias. And this is exactly why Elias said the organization took a deep look in the mirror because changes will have to be made. Well, that's all we have on today's episode, Orioles Digest. I hope I got all the information you guys from the last 48 hours. If you didn't, you can always go back and rewatch every single episode of Orioles Digest over the last couple of days, and you'll get every info that you missed and even more details. From Orioles Digest, I'm your host, Kam Brice.